You stabbed a CERBER customer and she didn't fire you? How? Rissa asked in astonishment once I told her, apparently now over her grudge with me. Well, no, but it really wasn't about getting fired. The whole thing was, if I could stab my customers and get away with it, I would be so happy, Madison mumbled from where she was listening on the couch, interrupting me before I could finish. I'm gonna go make some deliveries, she added before taking a bike that she'd stopped hiding and just sat next to mine and Rissa's and rolled it out the door. Think she's actually gonna stab someone? Rissa asked once she was gone. Nah, probably not. I don't think. I tried to reassure her. Well, I wasn't gonna tell you, but those guys at Dirty Work Inc. did give her $100 to drop off something not food related for them yesterday, Rissa admitted sheepishly. I'm sorry, what? No. That's actually pretty par for the course with her. Not my problem right now. You're not gonna freak out? Why? Rissa asked. Too much to deal with to add Madison doing Madison shit to the list. Oh, okay. Anyway, how'd you not get fired? She said to change the subject. Or like, banned from the app, or however that works. Oh, yeah, well, strange enough when I mentioned Travis was there with that crazy chick talking about bringing whatever that was back to the hotel, she just said to never mind and hung up. It was really weird. She never does things like that, I explained. She always makes things as tedious and irksome as possible for me. And the whole deal was more about if she was going to let me work for her after all my debts get paid up anyway. I still owe her a metric shit ton of money. I'd probably be paid up by tomorrow if it wasn't for all the favors it took with the whole pan ordeal. Sounds like your brother is mixed up in a pretty serious crowd. To be able to stand Adeline down like that with just a mention. Not having the energy to explain how right she was, I just agreed with her and called it a night. Or I tried to, but then... Alright, vampire movies with vampires night, I said as I pulled the door open and looked down to see Abigail. Is that blood on your cheek? Huh, must have missed a spot, she murmured as she pushed away by, smudging the red spot on her cheek with her thumb. You just made it worse. What are we watching tonight? Where's Destiny? She asked before another knock on the door. Who's that? Oh, I think I can guess, I said with a grin as I opened the door to reveal Destiny standing there. Not poofing into the middle of the room? Whatever is the matter? Don't give me that, you know, she scolded, narrowing her eyes at me when she walked in. Her face turned a little red again when Rissa came down the stairs to see what was going on, and then immediately ran straight back up. What did I miss? Something good, it sounds like, Abigail said as she wiped at the spot on her cheek with a napkin from the kitchen table. Jose, shh! Destiny hushed me when I opened my mouth to talk. Don't! She warned when I tried again. He tricked you into poofing in on Rissa and Madison in the middle of something. How did you know? Destiny screeched when Abigail guessed right. You knocked on the front door instead of popping up right in the middle of the room like you normally do. You and Rissa can't look each other in the eye, and that's exactly something Jose would do to get them to stop doing that on his couch, and you to stop randomly popping up in places. Not that hard to figure out, really. Just thought I'd give you a chance to tell me first. She explained, but with a hint of frustration in her voice as she spoke. Is something wrong? Me and Destiny asked at the same time, apparently both noticing. Louis said he... What? I croaked out once she was done telling us what had upset her. I figured he was a creep. No, he was trying to be nice. He just spoke before he thought about it. It's my fault for getting too used to the idea. She stopped me. It's just frustrating because of... She went on, gesturing to her body. Yeah, fair point, I guess. I'm not saying it's not weird and shit, 'cause it is. But I get it. I read about the thing you told me about, the regular people who have a gland disorder or something that makes them look real young when they're adults, and they say relationships are really odd. I guess you've been dealing with that for a while now, huh? I asked from my place by the TV. Yeah, kinda hits me all at once sometimes, you know? She said, her lips pursing as she thought about it. Oh, hell, I can't handle seeing Abigail cry right now, I thought to myself. Okay, look, I said, flopping down on the couch beside her. How about this? You try to start with just spending time together. Maybe things got off to a fast start, made him panic a little. So if you ease into it, let him get more familiar with your adult personality, then it'll be easier for him to see you as the miserable old shrew you really are. Then go from, "Don't hit me, I'm trying to help." I warned her when I saw her make that face she makes right before she commits felony assault. I agree with Jose, I think. I got lucky I was born like this, so I kind of stopped aging when I got to this point. So I can't really understand what it's like, but it's definitely going to be kind of awkward for Louie no matter what. So maybe just hanging out and getting to know each other will help, Destiny told her, giving her a small hug. Go do some crimes together or something. You both like crimes, right? Okay, I guess, she said as she uncrossed her arms and reached for the movies she brought. So what are we watching? I got Lost Boys and Salem's Lot and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I brought chocolate milk with red food coloring for Jose. Oh, neat, I squeaked, grabbing the jug from her. I can't get the stupid ring off. Hey, Abigail, say ah. Okay, double ah. Do the teeth thing. I left my knife upstairs. You want to use my vampire teeth as a utility knife? To open a jug of chocolate milk. Destiny's on is sharp and I don't want to have to get up. Now, I'm starting to understand why everyone tries to kill you. She complained, but still opened her mouth so I could get at her teeth. And bite. No more. Thank you. Jose, stop using our friend as a bottle opener, Destiny warned with a laugh as she put the movie in and hit play. You know, I'd almost bet if we weren't together, Abigail would have a thing for you instead, Destiny said as we watched her leave. What? Why? I asked, my face contorting from the statement. Well, for one, she humored you in your little milk jug thing. No way in hell she'd let anyone else do that. And live. Plus you treat her like you do everyone else. Makes her feel normal. Like just one of the gang. I'd even bet she'd be one of the first ones to come running if something happened to you, she explained, leaning her head on my shoulder. Too bad I got to you first. We did a good thing, right? Helping her with Louie? Like, what if it does work out and they end up, let's not try to think too hard about it. Or at all. Destiny answered sheepishly, with a small yawn escaping her mouth. What are you two talking about? A deep voice suddenly asked from behind us. Holy shit! What? Huh? I stammered as I spun to face the man. Oh God, it's you, I gasped to the blonde guy from earlier. Do you know him? Destiny asked, looking back and forth between us. Not exactly, I think he just moved in or something. Yes, something like that. Nice to meet you both. He started to say, but Destiny stopped him right before he could finish. Hey, wait! Say some more things! I'm sorry? He asked, tilting his head a little. More things? Oh my God, I know you! She suddenly blurted out. She fumbled for her phone and began hammering away at the screen. It's him! I'd recognize that voice anywhere! She continued, shoving the screen in my face to make me look at the YouTube channel she'd just brought up. I listen to him all the time before I go to sleep! Nature's temper, I mumbled, reading the screen that was now about 2 inches away from my nose. Oh, that. I thought you meant... Never mind, the man said, seeming relieved for some reason. Scott Pye, nice to meet you both. I said that already. Anyway, what are we doing? So, you read scary stories on YouTube? I asked, an idea creeping into my head. Among other things, but yes, he answered, seemingly distracted by something across the gravel parking lot. Following his example, I looked in the same direction and noticed the tall black guy from before skulking around, apparently looking for something. Shit! He's too close to my... Hey, you! Hide me! He suddenly said with a hiss, grabbing me by the shoulders. Yeah, okay, but I have a condition, I told him. Whatever you want, just let me hide away in your apartment for a while. So, what was the condition? He nervously added once we snuck inside and closed the door. You read people's stories online, right? Yes, he answered cautiously. Okay, well, I recently started writing a memoir. It just started as a journal that my therapist suggested I should write. I began to explain. But then I started posting them on the internet, because who in their right mind would believe it, right? And you want you to read it. I finished for him. Okay, hold on. I haven't even seen it yet. I don't even know how good of a writer you are. Why should I just agree to... Hey, Des, go let the big guy know his buddy's waiting for him in here. I told Destiny before he could finish. Fine, fine. First him, now you. Okay, I'll do it. But I have a lot of stuff I have to take care of first. So it'll take some time. Do you understand each other? Deal. I blurted out as I peeked out of the window at the man who was still wandering around outside. So, why are you ducking this guy? Seems pretty mellow to me. Well, to make a long story short, see this? He said, lifting up a pretty hefty-looking hammer. Have you been holding that the whole time? He gave it to me under the condition that I would use it to help people. I think he caught on that I just keep leaving it laying around and letting it get stolen all the time. I suspect he may be upset about that. Possibly, he told us as he fiddled with it. Tall, blonde, jacked Caucasian guy with a hammer. You thought? For brevity's sake, sure, let's go with that. He said as he peeked out beside me. So that hammer, that's... No, different hammer. Festus made this one for that man out there originally, John Henry. Then when he decided to retire, he gave it to me, he interrupted. That's the John Henry? I asked in disbelief. Who is John Henry? He is, I said as we both turned to slowly face her. That's not what I mean. I mean, what's so special about him? He's an American legend. He's like the first black superhero. Haven't you heard of that story about the freed slave who had a hammer made out of his old chains and died trying to win a contest with a railroad spike driving machine? Wait, is this that hammer? Well, yes, I suppose. There's a bit more to the story and construction than that, I think. He answered, looking it over. Explains why he'd be salty about you losing it all the time. You really never heard the legend of John Henry? I asked, looking back at Destiny. Never even seen that movie Tall Tale? Oh, yeah. Now I remember. The guy who held the train back with his bare hands so it didn't run over the boy on the tracks? I always forget that Pecco's Bill was Patrick Swayze and not Kurt Russell. Anyway, it looks like he's leaving now, so I'll just be on my way. He interrupted me as he rushed by and out the door. Thank you for your blackmailing me. Just one normal night. Is that too much to ask? I complained as I shut the door behind him. Mr. Jose, a minute of your time, please. The journalist guy from that trainwreck CERBER workshop asked as I walked out to start the next workday. Oh my god, really? Why? I groaned as he practically skipped to keep up with me. Word is you stabbed a customer and almost got fired. Care to comment on that? He asked, holding a voice recorder near my mouth. Get that shit out of my face. Now, 1, how the hell did you even hear about that? And 2, who are you writing for? I said, swatting at the recorder. I'm a writer for the Underworld Gazette, the only paranormal newspaper and media outlet in the area, he said proudly as he adjusted his glasses. Who would start a paranormal newspaper? Sobek, of course. Lately, he's really been trying to bring more modern amenities to the paranormal world, make their lives a bit more comfortable, give them access to services that don't mercilessly price gouge them for every little thing, give them more means to support themselves, better living conditions. I mean, I thought you'd expect that, given He trailed off as he looked around the apartment buildings. Oh, I guess you don't know yet. Know what? What's going on? I asked, wondering if I missed something important. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually. Now, about the stabbing situation. Come talk to me when you've had something try to slither up inside you, I grumbled as I rolled away. Is that on record? Blow me! I shouted over my shoulder at him. Is that on record? Okay. Time for this round of what tries to eat me tonight roulette, I sighed to myself as I hit the active beacon. Before long, the app beeped, and when I checked my phone... first tier, slow start. It's not too bad, I said to myself as I relaxed a little. Sometimes the bull wins, what a classic! The pale green guy laughed at the joke I told him as he closed the door, food in hand. Well, that went well, even if I barely made anything off it, I thought as I pedaled down the long road from his house that opened up next to a large prefab metal building. And that's when I slid to a stop beside it. Because, perched on the limb of a tree a few yards away, glaring hungrily into the open shop door in the back, was... Abigail! Abigail! What the actual hell are you doing? I hissed loudly at her as I tripped over my bike to get under the tree she had nested in. Shh! She hushed me from up among the leaves and branches. I could hear the rustling sounds as she slowly crept down from where she was standing, her yellow eyes occasionally flashing with a glimmer of light as she looked to check her footing. What the hell are you doing up there? I asked again when she was on the ground. Working? She said bluntly, never taking her eyes off the open door. Maybe a little more specific? That place makes props and costumes for big budget movies, and one they were working on just wrapped up production. So, if I'm quick, I can get in there when no one's looking and swipe some of the stuff before it gets away. She explained like she was describing how to make a sandwich or something. So just one more question. Were any of the props I bought from you Shh! Here's our chance. Come on! She interrupted me, slapping her hand over my mouth. Ow! I mumbled into her palm. I'm not helping you rob this place. Have you lost all your fucking marbles? Abigail, god damn it! I hissed, stumbling after her in the dark as my bike clattered to the ground behind me. Would you hush and hurry? She hissed back. I have stuff I need to do after this, you know. What stuff? Deviltry. She answered as she checked inside to see the coast was clear, in a very literal sense of the word. You gonna meet the devil or something? I asked, not sure what she meant. But she didn't answer. She just gave me this smile that, well, I just not care for. Not at all. But I wasn't about to tell her no after that. So what are you looking for? Anything that looks like it was used in close-ups. Lots of detail, really well made, that kind of thing. It fetches the highest price with the big collectors. She told me as she pried open a lockbox like it was popping the tab on a drink can. And then we heard the unmistakable sound of a shotgun rack. What did I tell you would happen if you came snooping around again? Someone screamed from off to the side. That's not real. It's just a... Abigail started to say before the screaming man pulled the trigger. Bang! Next to me I heard a dull thud follow the shots. I turned to see Abigail's eyes glaze over as she fell backwards onto the concrete floor. What the hell was that? I shouted at the man right before I heard another rack of the gun and a second shotgun blast. My knees hit the ground as a deep pain spread across my side. Did I just get shot? Then I noticed something on the floor next to me. Is that a beanbag? I wheezed as my whole left side seared with pain. On my other side, I could see Abigail start to stir as she got back to her feet and grabbed one of the small beanbags off the ground. You son of a bitch! She shouted as she hurled the small bag at him, causing a loud crack as it flew past the man and exploded into oblivion against the steel beam behind him. Then, using the pause the unexpected event caused, Abigail started to shove me towards the door. Go, go, go! Before he calls the cops! She shouted as she herded me to my bike. Once we got there, I felt her climb onto my back and spur me like a horse. "Hey, what about my backpack?"
"I'll buy you a new one. Now, yeah!"
She yelled, spur me with the hard heels of her giant boots again. I feel a wave of pain from her jabbing me in the spot where the beanbag hit spread and almost collapsed. But after a loud squeal or two, and elbowing Abigail in her damn ribs, I got it together and started to pedal. "Where the hell am I taking you?" I huffed as I fought the thumping twinges of pain in my side.
"To a meeting."
Her head right next to mine.
"Just turn down this road to the left and you'll know where you're going after that."
"Wait, the manor? We're going to the manor? What's going on here?"
"A meeting, like I said. A very important meeting."
She told me as we turned onto the long drive that led to the manor's front door.
"Jose, what are you two doing here?"
Destiny said when she saw us walk in together. "I was just helping her rob a prop company. Got shot, and was a getaway driver."
"Yeah, no, really?"
she asked again, but I just stopped and cut my eyes over at her before lifting my shirt.
"Holy shit, that's a lot of purple!"
she shrieked when she saw the malignant bruise festering over my ribs. "You still got any of that Tiger Lily's bomb stuff around here? Maybe it'll help with this bullshit."
"Yeah, come on. It's in the medicine cabinet,"
she said, taking my hand and leading me to the bathroom.
"Now what is Abigail doing here? I haven't noticed anything going on all day."
"Something about a meeting? I don't know." I sighed as I sat down on the edge of the tub and pulled my shirt back up so Destiny could get at me with the, tiger bomb. I just got that. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so she could put Tiger Lily's bomb on my side. Once we were done, we walked out to investigate what was going on, so we went straight for the lounge where that kind of bullshit takes place. But it was empty. Then Destiny had an idea.
"They might be in the gathering hall,"
she suggested.
"Not there,"
she said as I tried to walk towards the room with the big long table.
"The gathering hall in the castle,"
she added as she pulled me towards the door that led down to the catacombs of the castle. Before long, we were standing in front of a large wooden iron door somewhere near where I expect the bottom floor of the castle would be, and then Destiny reached out and shoved it open. As it gave way with a loud groan, every head in the room turned to face us all at once. They were all sitting around a large, round table with a star burned into the top. As we walked in, I could see the familiar faces. Abigail, Jekyll, the Count, Hook, Hap, and... "Oh, so you're here too? Huh," I croaked hoarsely to myself when I saw the masked man in blue robes glaring at me from the other side of the room. I was standing across from Fudo Mew again, and he stood up from his seat, and everyone else did too. Now, I may not be the most sophisticated man you'll ever meet, but even I know when someone gets up from the table and everyone else stands, it means whoever just stood up first is probably the highest rung on the ladder. "You two were not invited," he said coarsely. "But I suspect you may make an appearance," he added, taking his seat again, signaling everyone else to sit back down as well.
"Sorry, we'll go now. Didn't mean to bother you,"
Destiny squeaked before she tried to turn and run away, back down the corridor, but I grabbed her arm to stop her. "Hold up," I said, pulling her back beside me. "You said literal deviltry," I added, pointing over to Abigail. "Now explain that." She made that same grin from before and started to speak.
"Do you know what that word means, devil? It comes from the Greek word that means an opposer or an enemy. That same word in Old Hebrew, Satan, ha-Satan, the opposers. Satan was never a single person. It's a collective devoted to opposing Yahweh. You're looking at the last remaining members."
"Abigail's the devil." "Knew it." Help support the author on Patreon. Link in the description below.